Yo, your lord and savior King Bullet, jumping right back into the manga scene. Also the anime scene, I suppose. This video will be about how strong Asta from Black Clover is. I do believe he's massively underrated. This may not be your first video, regardless of if it is or isn't. If you enjoyed the video, you should consider subscribing, even becoming a member. The perk to being a member will allow you to join my private Discord server, which I am planning to make. So if you want to be a part of that, it would be much appreciated if you could become a member. The link to that will be down in the description. Black Clover is a manga written by Yuki Tabata. The story centers around a young boy called Asta, born without any magic power. Asta is an orphan raised under the care of a church, found after his mother abandoned him on the church's doorstep. He's found alongside another child called Yuno. Asta was born without any magic power, whereas Yuno and everybody else was. He lives in a world where everybody seemingly has magical powers. After turning 15 years old, Asta receives a 5-leaf clover grimoire with an anti-magic devil inside. He joins the Clover Kingdom's Black Bull squad of the Magic Knights and becomes a 3rd-class junior Magic Knight. Asta is generally quite cheerful and hyperactive. He tends to shout to express his thoughts and goals, especially because he wants to become the Wizard King and restructure the class system within his country. This does obviously annoy a lot of people, but Asta doesn't really care what they think of him. When it comes to intelligence, he might not be the sharpest tool in the box, however does display very impressive combat intelligence. Moving on to his abilities, we know he has access to anti-magic. Asta uses his very unique energy to nullify magic, despite not having an ability to use magic. Asta's control over his anti-magic energy, as well as the very uniqueness of his power itself, has earned him the rank of Arcane Stage Mage. He has several moves. These include the Bull Thrust, the Black Meteorite, the Black Hurricane, Demon Slayer Sword Black Divider, and finally, Demon Slayer Sword Black Slash. Moving into the power scaling, we know at the bare minimum, he scales to somebody like Gauche, since he made Gauche bleed with a headbutt. So how strong was Gauche? Well, he was stated to be as powerful as a snowstorm that Neige created, and to create a nimbus of that magnitude, which is a snowstorm, is usually calculated city level, so it's consistent with that. As per usual, the calculations will be linked down in the description. When it comes to speed, a lot of characters use light magic, and light magic can actually be reflected by mirrors, are straight, and specifically have been stated to be light speed. All types of light magic are light speed, since they follow the attribute above which we have confirmation. Take when Silver uses an attribute of Mercury, who's able to reflect Lick's light magic thanks to that. So light magic attacks should be light speed. Now Asta could reflect beams of light while being half asleep. He could track down Yami, who could parry away several light speed attacks being fired at him at the same time. Later on, Asta is even capable of piercing through Fana's Fire Spirit Salamander. The Fire Spirit Salamander is apparently capable of drying out entire seas with this magic. If we assume it's the world's smallest sea, this feat would require enough energy to destroy an entire country. If you calculate this feat, it gives us a value of at least 19 teratons worth of TNT. Ladros absorbs the Fire Spirit and surpasses its power. Asta unlocks a new form, Black Asta, and is capable of one-shotting Ladros. So I would assume at this point, Black Asta can produce enough energy to destroy a country multiple times over. In order to one-shot somebody, you need to be at least 7.5 times stronger than somebody if you're using versus battle standards, making Asta 142.5 teratons or large country level. Mereoleona and Asta encounter Raia of the Midnight Sun and fight him. Mereoleona has a really good feat against Raia where she uses her Kaleidos Branchian Barrage, which completely blitzes Raia's light magic. If I recall, if you pixel scale this feat, the calculation will get you roughly around 95 times faster than the speed of light. You can even find calculations that are much higher than this. So you might be wondering, hey Bullet, how does Asta scale to this speed? Well, Asta outspeeds her completely. It's even stated that he may be faster than her. So moving back into power, Asta was capable of hurting the Word Devil, injuring him. The Word Devil, Zagrid, could also easily harm Evil Eye Raia, and Raia was stated the strongest member of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. Asta was capable of killing the Word Devil by slicing his heart. So how durable was his heart? Well, his heart was actually capable of tanking an attack from Lick's Demon Dweller sword, Conjuring Eon, which took the power of 10 elves, including Patry, Yuno, etc. Lick was able to add their powers to his sword to create a huge slash that disintegrated Zagrid's entire body, but his heart was still left intact. So I'd place like pre-time skip Asta, like 95 times faster than the speed of light and large country level. Obviously then we get a time skip. If I recall, the amount of time that has passed is 6 months or half a year. After this time skip, my boy Asta is like hella buff, kinda looks like Yami now, and for some reason he can use his sword to like fly now. So yes, he's technically got flight in base. As per usual, when he transforms, he's capable of flight anyway. If we're talking purely about speed, Asta at this point should have surpassed Henry, Gray, Gordon, and some of the other weaker members of the Black Bulls. So how fast were they? Even before the time skip, back in chapter 187, Henry Gray Gordon were able to save Asta from Gauch's beam, and this feat in particular is very impressive indeed. It places their speed 162 times faster than the speed of light. That's how fast they would have to be to save Asta in this feat. Once again, the calculation for this will be linked down in the description. I also forgot to mention that Asta can call the name of his sword and it returns to him. Asta goes on to fight this guy called Dante, one of the Dark Triad. Dante then goes 80% versus Asta and Yami. Asta's devil even states that he's more powerful than any of his previous transformations. We know even getting like a single percent is a massive amp, so he's essentially got like 20 amps. Asta is left with no choice but to use his devil's bargain to surpass his limits. He even sacrifices his own arm to the devil in exchange for the true power of anti-magic, giving him stronger power than ever. This increase in power enables him to negate the gravity singularity that Dante uses completely, and additionally coat his weapons in anti-magic. However, in this form, he's limited to only 50 seconds of usage. Asta is capable of cutting off Dante's arm, which causes Dante to transform even further, growing these arms. He now has 4 arms, and when Yami passes him his katana, Asta imbues it with anti-magic and slashes Dante. This negates Dante's ability and his transformation is nullified completely. He falls to the ground, reverts back into base, has a scar across his torso, and is unconscious. Before Yami can restrain Dante, one of the other Triad members, Zenon, arrives to the battlefield, captures Yami, and then scoops up Dante's body, looking down upon him for his loss. So how strong was Dante? Specifically 80% Dante. Noct states that all of the Dark Triad are relative or around the same level as each other. However, it might be the case that somebody like Varnica is slightly stronger than Zenon and Dante, since she's more connected to her devil. However, still in the same tier as somebody like Dante. According to the Princess of a Heart Kingdom, Varnica's devil has far more power than Zagrid, the one that Asta fought. Knowing that Asta beat this devil, she believes he stands no chance versus this devil, so the Dark Triad are still really powerful. I did say earlier, as a Dark Triad member, increasing your power by a percent is a massive increase. Dante going from 60% to 80% essentially gives him 20 amps, and Asta still being able to hurt this Dante shows how much stronger he's gotten with Devil's Bargain. Later, Asta is given an opportunity to get stronger. He fights off attacks from Devil Union Noct in their training, Noct also having a devil within him. Noct can trade blows with Devil Power Dante, so he's pretty powerful himself, and he goes on to train Asta. After undergoing Devil Binding Ritual, Asta fights Libe, his own devil. After winning, he forges a contract with Libe to share their power as equals. They undergo training for a couple of days. Asta and Libe learn Unite, which greatly enhances their anti-magic abilities. Even though their union is not perfected yet, their transformation only lasts for about 5 minutes. A Noct comments, if Devil Union is perfected by Asta, then he will be the strongest person on their side, which would mean he thinks Asta would be stronger than himself, making Asta stronger than ever before. However, after using this form, Asta experiences excruciating body pain, and he must wait at least 30 minutes before he can use Unite or his black form again. As time elapses, the crossbars of a star on his chest begin to expand into circles, indicating how much time he has left in the form. Once using Devil's Union, Asta himself is far stronger than even his Devil's Bargain. Later, the demon twins, Lilith and Naima, arrive from the underworld once the first gate opens. They appear in the Spade Castle. Noct assumes, already in their base forms, they have the strongest level of devils, and assume their strength to be equal to the Dark Triad, but realizes they're actually on a completely different level, and this is prior to the twins fusing, just for reference. Naima immediately attacks Noct, who manages to avoid most of her attacks, but his Unite mode allows him to dodge most of the barrage anyway. The devils wish to toy with the humans, but agree not to attack Dante. Noct then further powers up using Unite mode Gallius, stopping the devil's movements. He then drags him to another part of the castle through shadow magic. The devils are amused by Noct's abilities, as he traps them in his dark prison hunting ground. They end up destroying Noct's shield, forcing him to use Unite mode Gallius times Felis. This is a power that makes him the highest class of devil. As Noct attempts to seal them away, this fails. They reach for Noct's throat, but Asta arrives and severs the devil's hand. The devil twins look at his right arm and shiver with excitement, since they haven't faced anything so entertaining in centuries in the underworld. Kind of proving what Noct said about Asta being the strongest. Asta's Devil Union forces the two devil twins to fuse together and create a massive freezing sun in order to destroy the entire castle. Asta has to increase the size of his black divider and reflects the sun back at the fused devil, showing that he has reflection powers. The devils then merge into the sun. Asta cuts it open and then flies into it. Inside the sun, the fused devil unleashes torrents of magic. Asta once again neutralizes their magic. The devils are no longer enjoying the fight. According to Asta's devil, the twins are now feeling the emotion of fear. They try and flee from Asta to try and stall out his transformation, but this does not work. Asta closes the distance just in time and cuts them into pieces right before Asta's transformation ends. The fused twins then disintegrate, but their magic continues to hover over the castle. So as it stands, Asta is out of commission. Moving on to the conclusion. Asta as it stands, he far outscales the likes of Fauna and a Salamander back in some of the earlier arcs who will calculate country level. A devil like Zagrid should easily be large country level, the Dark Triad are easily beyond him, and then finally, the twins that Asta fought are far beyond the Dark Triad, even in their base forms, let alone their fusion. It's very hard to quantify how much stronger than large country level Asta is, but we know he's drastically stronger than large country level. And the same goes for speed. He's able to blitz his previous speed of 95 times faster than the speed of light, so he's easily a few hundred times faster than the speed of light at this point. So that should wrap everything up. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, hopefully you learned something new, and most importantly, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can drop a like, even sub. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you like power scaling videos, here's a few right here. I'll see you next time. Peace out.